The next day was the last day of the holiday. Instead of rushing down to see Horst as soon as we could, we had to start packing. Then there was dinner, and we knew that not long after that, we'd have to catch the train home. Finally, when we had done everything we had to do, we went down to see Horst. We went into that little room, and I was a bit sad. I thought maybe this was going to be the last time we'd ever see Horst. So I went up to him and said, "Thanks for the stories, Horst," and I gave him a little kiss on the side of his face. My brother said, "I don't think you've got time to tell us any more. We're going now." "Oh well." "Oh well," Horst kept saying. Then my brother said, "The medicine. Have you got the medicine?" "The medicine," said Horst. "I've already given it to you." "No, you haven't," said my brother. "You know, the medicine to stop us being bad." "Well," said Horst, "have you been bad for the last, 14 days?" "No," said my brother, "we've been coming to see you." "There you are then," said Horst. "You've had the medicine." "No, come on, Horst," said my brother. "Look here," said Horst, "whatever it is I've given you over these last 14 days has stopped you being bad, hasn't it?" "And being bored," I said. "Oh, yeah, I see," said my brother. "I see." "Good," said Horst. "No, I don't," I said. Then we said goodbye and shook hands, and off we went on the long journey back to England. On the way back, we stayed at a friend's house in Holland, so it was about a week before we got home, and when we got there, a letter was waiting for us. It was from Horst. It went like this. "Dear boys, I told you many adventures about our friend Till Owlyglass, and there are hundreds I don't know, but there's one more I had to tell you, so I've written it down. For many, many years, Till wandered all over Germany and the countries around it until he was very old. And then one day, he fell seriously ill. He was in the town of Mölln at the time. In those days, anyone who was dying used to talk to a priest. They told the priest about anything wrong they'd ever done so that the priest could pardon them. And that would give them the chance of going to heaven when they died. So a priest came to see Till, but this priest was very greedy. He loved money and he loved food and drink. And when he saw that Till was a man of the world, a man who had travelled and seen many places, he guessed that here was a chance to make a bit of money. "My son," the priest said to Till, "think of the peace of your soul after you die. Think of the money you could give to the church for a mass to be sung for you after you die." Till said, "Many thanks, Father. You've spoken very wisely to me. Come back this afternoon and I'll have something for you." So the priest went away, and Till fetched a jug and filled it with muck out of the gutter. On the top, he put a few layers of gold pieces so that you couldn't see the muck. In the evening, the priest came back. He listened to Till's confession, pardoned him, and then said, "Do you have anything to give the church, my son?" So Till said, "Yes, Father, in that jug over there is some treasure. Put your hand in and take a coin or two, but don't dip your hand in too deep, will you, Father?" "Thank you, my son," said the priest, and he went over to the jug. Greedy as ever, he stuck his hand deep into the jug. And when he pulled it out again, it was covered with filth and muck. Till sat up in his bed, laughing his head off. And then he said, "I warned you not to dig too deep, you old greedy guts, but you couldn't stop yourself, could you?" And the priest rushed off, furious that he had been caught out. Though Till was growing more sick and feeble by the hour, even this was not his last trick. In the final moments of his life, he called to his bedside some of his friends, the Lord Mayor of Mölln, and the proper priest of Mölln. "Gentlemen," he said, "I'm dividing my treasure between you. Friends, you shall have 1/3. Lord Mayor, you shall have 1/3 to pay off the bills in Mölln. Father, you shall have 1/3 for the church. You can have this money if you promise me one thing. You'll bury me in a proper churchyard, and you'll sing and say a mass so that my soul may be saved." Yes, they all agreed. "Yes, we promise. 4 weeks after I'm gone, Till said with his final breath. You can open my trunk. It's locked with 3 keys. Friends, here's one of them. Lord Mayor, here's another. And Father, here's the third. And then at last, Till died. 4 weeks later, Till's friends, the Lord Mayor and the priest, all came together to open the trunk. The trunk was huge and weighed so much that it took several men to lift it. It seemed like it was full to the top with treasure. Everyone started getting excited, thinking how rich they were soon going to be. They used the 3 keys to unlock the trunk. And they looked inside and they found stones. Nothing but stones. Within minutes, they were shouting at one another. It was you! You've been here before and taken it. It wasn't me, it was you. You did what you're saying I did. And they argued and fought until in the end one of them said, hang on. Perhaps Till was telling us something. After all, what are jewels, if not stones? The best things in life are good health and happiness, aren't they? Not money, not treasure. But even this wasn't quite the last of Till's tricks. On the day of Till's funeral, when his coffin was being lowered into the grave, one of the ropes broke. Pew! Down dropped one end of the coffin and up came the other end so that the coffin stood upright in the grave. All the people standing there were amazed. And they called out, "Leave him like that. If he wants it that way, all his life he did strange things, so he can be strange even now, when he's dead." Then they filled in the grave, and on Till's headstone they carved an owl holding a looking glass in its claws. And on the stone they wrote these words: "Till Owlyglass stands beneath this stone, with a grin on his face and all alone." And that was the end of Till. And in another way, it was the beginning, because since then people have never stopped telling stories about him. Till Owlyglass, Till Eulenspiegel, the owl with the mirror in his hand. I often wonder what that means, boys. Maybe Till was a kind of wise owl who held up a mirror to everybody. Whoever looked in the mirror could see all the foolish things they did. All the best, boys. Hope you like the medicine. Hope to see you again one day. Love, Horst. I never did see Horst again, but I've always remembered his stories. So I thought what I'd like to do is tell them all to you. I hope you like them as much as I did.